I have
Dude,
the opposite story. I have the opposite story. You say no one embarrassed him about it. No one wanted to hurt him. There was a kid, Harley.
Jeez, Kyle.
Harley doesn't watch. Harley's mom was a stripper, and she would strip at this local biker bar, which I ended up later in life like going to a ton and like playing poker. They had like a sketchy poker game there, like a cash game, and like I'd noticed like if you'd sit in the booths along the wall, there were like pictures of chicks, flashing and stuff in the bar, right? They take Polaroids and like nail them up on the wall. It was that kind of joint. I don't even think they had a liquor license. And one of the kids, this guy who was like, I don't know, 45, but still in the 12th grade or something like that. He was like, yeah, I saw your mama strip at the Flats. I saw her strip up there last night. Your mama got some nice titties. And just, it was awful. It was so awkward to be. I wanted to melt away. I was like, I'm glad my mama doesn't strip at the Flats because that's humiliating.
What kind of strip club is called the Flats?
It's not a strip club. It's a bar at it's a place where like there's two hills and they go down and there's a flat area and that place is called the Flats and it's like a little biker bar.
So she took her titties out just for the fuck of it? Like
no,
she just took her
stripper.
tits out?
She stripped in the bar and people gave her monies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it would be impossible to talk shit as a high schooler to anyone if at any point they could be like, hey, after school I may just go have your mom's tits on my face. How would you like that?
Yeah.
You couldn't talk shit. You couldn't.
And then like a girl I was friends with worked at the local grocery store. She's like, yeah, I've seen Harley's mom come in. She pays with ones.
Very sticky ones.
What are you doing with the ones before you give them? Never mind.
Well, it's where you put the ones when you give them.
Oh, okay. I literally thought like, do people ejaculate on their singles before they stuff them in the bikini? Like that just doesn't even make sense. You guys are crazy.
Yeah, they roll them up into a tube and then jerk off with them, Woody. That's why you sit right next to the stage. That's what the champagne room is for.
Oh, is that what happens in the champagne room?
Jack off in all your money, then you come out and throw it in singles.
Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, that's like your like. Only real way to touch a stripper at a reputable place is when you tuck the money into her, panties or her bra or whatever. It's kind of a fresh way to like.
You can just briefly touch her belly with the back of your finger.
Yeah. Well, you keep going farther and farther.
Don't act like that's nothing, Woody.
It's
a woman could graze your dick with her wrist, and you're into it. I could feel a lot with the back of my knuckles, sir. If I've been staring at it for an hour, don't act like that's not worth $1.
Usually,
Mister, I don't want the apocalypse to happen. Fucking Warren Buffett over there. Don't you dare shit talk on tipping strippers $1.
Usually the girl will she'll indicate where she wants the money put. Mm-hmm. And if she's not feeling you, they've often got this like a garter. You know what a garter is? Like it's on your thigh. It's that round frilly thing. They'll be like, yeah, right here. Because that's the lowest tier of where you get to put the money, other than just putting it on the stage. If she's just like, yeah, just put it on the floor near me. Yeah, no, you don't need to touch me. But then if you're going to touch her, the lowest tier is the garter. But sometimes she'll be like, yeah, right here. And you're basically just like touching her pussy with your, your back of your knuckle or whatever. And if she likes you, you get as fresh as you want. And the less reputable the establishment is, the more you can, touch and do
what's
stuff.
What's the freshest, Kyle, what's the freshest you've ever got?
Oh,
in a strip club? Not in the back room.
Oh.
Like in the main area, the freshness. Like maybe like a 10-second knuckle rub on her clit. Like
I was on Adderall one time in Vegas, and I think I dry humped a stripper's snatch for probably 20 minutes while she counted her money. That like Adderall and strip clubs for me is pretty much better than anything in the world.
What the hell does Adderall do? That
it makes me so focused and devastating when it comes to women. Like I don't say any weird spurgy things. I don't try to be funny. I become like Don Draper with the right combination of Adderall and liquor. It is the complete opposite of me. It would be unrecognizable. Like it would be like Edward Norton and Tyler Durden, the difference, but it's fucking perfect.
Does
I don't
Adderall
know
keep you awake like
It says that
caffeine,
on
or did
the
I make that
Adderall
up?
bottle.
More than
No,
caffeine.
Adderall keeps you awake. Yeah.
It keeps you awake for quite some time.
So I wouldn't want to take it before the show.
If you take a quick release and you only did 10 milligrams, then it'd be fine. Like I've taken one before the show in the past, and it's like, I mean, I get to sleep by 1 or 2. It's not like you're up all night.
I'm
or
up that
anything.
long anyway.
Exactly, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
As far as getting fresh in the club, I've definitely touched her pussy with like putting the money in there, and touched her nipple, putting it because some places aren't, she'll start with a top on. I've been to a place, wasn't even topless. It was like a burlesque type thing, and I was immediately like, shit, they tricked us with that cover charge thing.
Yeah.
I already bought a drink. I guess we'll finish our booze. But
Did they read you any British poetry during their burlesque show or whatever they do with their liberal arts degrees?
It was disappointing that there weren't titties, but at the same time, it was sort of nice to see some sort of mystery, because like chicks sometimes, some chicks definitely look better just in lingerie than topless or naked. And it seemed like these were the girls who that was true for. And they seemed like better dancers, and there was a better performance involved, because you got to make up for the fact that there's no titties, right? So it was a bit of a show.
And you're not on ecstasy.
Yeah, right. And but in the back room, I mean, I've had chicks just go ahead and get naked, 100% when they're not supposed to. I'm pretty sure I've been to. It's fuzzy. I don't even remember if I've been to places where the bottoms were off, but I think I have. I'm almost sure I have at some point, because I've been to strip clubs in several states, but it just doesn't stick out to me remembering that. You'd think I would, but I prefer those places 100%. That would be the way to go. The idea that they're just topless is kind of lame anyway, if you ask me.
What's the selling point to a burlesque show over a strip club? It's the same thing, but they're wearing clothes, right?
They're wearing lingerie or basically swimming suit type situation, underwear.
See, that's not a selling point to me. If you want to go,
it's a classier,
go big or go home.
It's a classier show that you could take someone who wouldn't go to a strip club too. Maybe if your girlfriend's uptight and she doesn't want to go to the strip club, she would go to a burlesque show a lot of the times. You could take your parents to a fucking burlesque show.
Aren't they funny and have almost an act?
Yeah,
they have an act.
Sometimes they do. It depends on the level. There's levels to the shit, right?
Yeah.
That crazy thing I went to in New York that time at that club called The Box. That was this weird mix of performance art and BDSM and stripping and pornography, and it was everything all mishmashed into one. 1 minute there's I don't know if it was a man or a woman to this day, but they came out mostly naked, wearing a dog mask on a leash and collar, and then the chick put whipped cream all on her pussy and shoved his face in it, and then fucked him with a strap on, and then all right, next show, and out comes some lady wearing a necklace, and streaming down from it is a beaded curtain, and that's all she's wearing. And so every time she sways as she sings, you're seeing everything briefly. It's perfect. But she was a great singer, and we were all just she's got a killer body, but god damn, she's talented. She could sing. And they told me the way they got me to go there was yeah. There's this one guy. He eats an entire pizza right there on stage while he talks to you, and then he vomits it into a bucket, and then he eats the vomit.
Oh.
And I was just you're shitting me.
No,
that's not a thing.
That's not turning me on.
a thing.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. Mike owns the place. And I was like, you own a club in New York? He's like, 2%. I'm like, that's a lot. That's good enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a ridiculous.
I saw